it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd Online Shop, and I'm going to be creating that page you see on the screen. I'll be featuring paper from Vicki Boutin's Storyteller collection, and in a moment I'm going to show you two sets of dies I'll be featuring as well, both from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and they are super cool. The first two there are part of the same collection, the Viewmaster collection, and the third one coordinates with it. It's called Viewmaster Words, something like that. Anyway, I'll put a link to everything I'm using, including the Scrapbook Nerd, in the description box below in case you're interested. And I'll also talk more about these products throughout the process. So on my desk right now, I did do a bit of preparation. I prepared that frame style foundation with 2 sheets of paper, and I gutted one of them. There is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, so that will be linked up below as well. I matted 2 photos with the cardstock I gutted from behind my foundation page, and I'm just showing you the pile of paper on my desk. So basically, this is going to be a layout full of neutrals. And in a moment, I'm going to show you the specialty paper from this collection. And as you can see, it's full of holes. Basically, there are all these really cool circles on it, and I cut them out with my die cutting machine for a previous project, but I am going to be using it as embellishments for this layout. And that goldish color on the vellum, that inspired me to dig into my stash, and I found another scrap of this gold paper, and what I'll be doing with that is some die cutting later on. So now what I'm going to do is cut myself a layered border, which is something I have been doing a lot lately, and I will put measurements for everything I'm doing on the screen, but essentially I'm making a layered horizontal border, and that's where I'm going to be placing all my embellishments, my title, my photos, and all of that kind of stuff. For the measurements I'm putting on the screen for this, I am putting the final measurements for the border because everything now is at 12 inches long and at different widths. And it's only once I adhere all of these pieces together that I'm going to trim it all down to 11.5 inches, but it's written 11.5 inches for all those strips on the screen. So I just wanted to point that out. And also, you may have noticed I simply inked all the edges of my paper, even that black paper. It's just to kind of add a finishing touch on the edges of paper. It's something I like to do, especially when I'm using lots of layers in a border or on a page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trimming that down so that it fits right on top of that white foundation page. And then I will be getting out my Big Shot and start doing some die cutting here. Now I'm going to be using first that Viewmaster die that you're going to see me get out. That one is really big, and you have to really position it if you just have an ordinary old Big Shot like me, because it just fits on that plate. But it does fit on the plate, and it cuts out very, very well. There are several different layers to this particular die set, but I'm only going to be using that one big die, and then I'm going to be using this word die for the Viewmaster collection as well. So I changed my plate on my Big Shot, and I got out my precision plate because these are fairly detailed. And I'm using 2 sets of dies here from that, or 2 dies from that collection, but I end up making a mistake. For the word one there that you see me poking out right now, sorry I'm off screen a little bit, I ended up not actually cutting out the words I wanted. I cut out simply the best, but what I really wanted to cut out was into the lens. So off camera, when I'm continuing poking out those little pieces, I ended up cutting myself the words that I actually wanted. I'll use the other one on another page. But anyway, it was super beautiful in that metallic paper. Actually, I'm getting out another die. That one I use all the time. Again, from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and that's part of her Planner Essentials series. So I'm taking that brown, it's kind of like a ledger paper. That's where I'll be doing my journaling. And I'm cutting that out into a planner page, and that's all going to be part of the layers on this border. So what I'm going to do right now is just start playing with all the parts, and you can kind of see how I'm setting this up. I've got a few photos there. My journaling's going to go over to the left. I've got that Viewmaster, that huge Viewmaster wheel over on the right, just to add interest to that horizontal border. There's a lot of bumps and dips and ups and downs, which makes it kind of fun. I do want to make one of the photos a focal point, so I cut myself another photo mat, and that's what you see me inking up right now, and I made it a little bit bigger. I definitely find it helps when one of the photos at least is a focal point. It just seems to make sense to me on a page. And now I'm just going to be adhering this border down right now and start placing all the bits. Like I said earlier, this Viewmaster die does have lots of other pieces to it, including a mat that I could have put behind it, but I chose not to. It also has little rings I can cut out to put around the edge of all of the little holes in the Viewmaster, but I'm just leaving it as is. I feel like doing a really quick and simple page today, and this does come together very quickly. I used an adhesive called Sticky Specs to adhere those words there, which is into the lens. And you can kind of see how I decide to place it. I do want the edge of that planner page to be showing. I didn't want it to be hidden behind the photo, so I'm going to be bumping that up on the left-hand side. And then what I'm going to do is get out my embellishments here. So you can see I've done that. I also cut out, when I cut out the words into the lens, you can see that circle at the bottom, and I find that super cool and detailed. It's from that same Viewmaster Words die collection. It says Sightseeing, and there's another one in that collection as well, and it's really beautiful. So I plan to put that on top of that photo on the right at the bottom, and you can kind of see I'm basically creating a line, almost another border that transects my strong horizontal border on the page. I'm kind of breaking that up with a vertical border with my embellishments, including those vellum circles. So now all I'm doing is adhering the photos down, and then you're going to see me adhere the embellishments. And aside from that, honestly, the only thing I'll end up doing is my journaling. So this page came together very quickly, and I absolutely love it actually. And if you're wondering what these photos are, they are of the bridges in the city where I live. So it was just on one of my walks, and we were kind of walking underneath it, and it was a pretty neat perspective. Anyway, that was last November in Quebec City. So you can see I'm adhering my circles down, and that's going to be it. I'm going to have tons of circles left over for yet again another layout. So all of this was created with Vicki Boutin's Storyteller collection for paper and Elizabeth Craft Designs dies, and they will all be linked up in the description box below. And don't forget, if one product isn't available and there's a notice there that says notify me, just click it. That means it's on order and it will be in the shop, and you'll get an email as soon as it shows up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. The same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.